Hi guys, I hope you're all fine and dandy. So I've been living with Native Instruments Complete Control, so the S88 controller and the Complete 10 bundle now for about 3 or 4 hours. So I've had a good chance at having a good old mess about with it on the iMac. I've also put it into Pro Tools and tried it in there. It seems to be going okay at the moment. A bit shiny, isn't it? Let's get this on. There you go. That's a little bit better. So what I thought I'd do, I'm still experimenting with audio a little bit, recording of the voice, and to that end, on my last video, the unboxing video, I used this and it sounded great, but there was a lot of echo on it. I could hear it in my headphones. There was some echo, and I think it's bouncing off the desk surface and the keyboard, and off the iMac as well. It's bouncing back to the mic. So I did a little bit of an experiment, and the closer obviously I moved to my head, the better the audio seemed to be. So what I thought I'd do, I know it's in shot, but the boom scissor thing that I've got holding it isn't long enough for me to put at the back and come over the top, so I need to get a longer one of those. I might invest in one of those soon. I think that will be my next investment. Okay, so with the S88 and Complete 10 bundle, you've seen the promo vids, you've seen all the flashy lights and the dancing bunny girls, and the rave music that's on in the background, and the guy with blurry hands spinning on the knobs and getting it all sounding epic. Now I think if I had a year to learn it and really get to grips with it every day for 12 months, I'd probably be doing exactly the same thing, but I just wanted to bring it down slightly. So the promo videos are fantastic, and they're obviously what sold it for me. But let's just get in the real world for a little bit. I've had this on there for 4 hours and I've been messing around, so I've put a few clips together that will show you my experience with using the S88, which is superb, by the way, absolutely superb. And also the Complete 10 plugins, so Massive and some of the piano plugins, and also popping it into Pro Tools 11 and 10. I've tried it in 10 as well. It's no different to 11 really. It does the same things. So one thing to mention is that I've now got I think it's the 1.5 update on all the Native Instruments, through Service Center, and that seems to have integrated it better with Pro Tools for me. So I'm getting on a lot better with it since the update. Also, the lights work as they should, and all the buttons are working properly. So I've had a go at it's so hard to do, but I've tried screen capturing on the iMac and also capturing the audio through the iMac, whilst capturing the audio from my mic through my Pro Tools system, my factory controller, the Digi-Design one. So I've had like 2 or 3 different sound sources and a screen record going on at the same time, and to be honest, I think the Mac's getting really confused, and I managed to get some audio done, and then it will decide to become unresponsive. Not the Mac itself, so QuickTime becomes unresponsive, and then my DAW becomes unresponsive, and then the sound recorder becomes unresponsive. So I have to sort of do a bit, reboot, do a bit more, reboot. I don't know why it keeps happening. It's obviously something I'm doing, but I finally managed to get some bits together for you. So I'm going to put them on for you now. So this is a real world test, just to show you how it works in the real world. I'm sure you guys are much better at getting these things working than I am, but this is my experience, and I pretty much come at it from a newbie sort of view. I've got some experience with the DAW and Pro Tools, but my background is mainly analog stuff, so this is all as new to me as it would be to a lot of you guys. So I've got on with it okay, not too bad. I've been on some of the forums, but let's have a look at how I got on today, okay? And then onwards and upwards, and hopefully this audio is spectacular. Can you even hear me whispering? Okay, let's rock. Okay guys, let's give this a go. So what I'm going to do is try the Komplete 10 standalone bundle without going into Pro Tools. So I've created a shortcut on my desktop just there, Complete Control. And if I single click that on my iMac, it pops up and you'll see that the keyboard has also gone into Complete Control mode. So it's no longer just a MIDI controller, it's actually ready to be responsive towards the software that you've got on the screen. Okay, and now interestingly enough, and I do like this, Native Instruments have put all the hundreds of thousands of samples that are in here, they're on a tab basis, so you can search by tab. So if we pick on, let's say a guitar, down here we've got acoustic, classical, clean, we just say acoustic for now. You've got more modes down here. Can you see your selections down the bottom are changing every time you select a different option there? So if we then go for, I don't know, fingertips, and just double click that, it's found the right synth that actually produces the sound, which is FM8 in this case. And you'll see that on the keyboard the options are now changed just for using on that sound that we've picked on the screen. Okay, so that's the sound. Alright, so that's the guitar sound. Now if we wanted to change any parameters, what we can do is just grab the knobs here, and you can see on this one it's got 17 pages of knobs, so it would have been great if there was more knobs on here, but this is what we've got to work with. If we wanted to change anything on here, we could just literally do it live. Okay. So we just created a brand new sound there. Sounds awful. Okay, and there's an amount effects there. We take that off. There you go, it's totally dry now. So that's how you use the tabs, and then we can always go back and say, well, this time I want a, what should we go for? I want a synth pad, and I want it to be an airy one. And the options down here are changing, look. And I'm going to go for a, let's see if we can find a nice one. I don't know the names of any of these, so let's just take a pick. Crystal Voice. Now what should happen is FM8 should disappear. There you go, and this is a reactor synth. So it's got rid of the one, put this one back up. Okay. And again, we can just go around and use the dials as needed. Okay, you can also go through the pages, obviously, for your LFOs and your cut-off filters. Okay, so very simple operation, but that's using the mouse. What we're going to show you next is how not to use the mouse. Interesting. That's why I bought this controller, because I wanted to leave the mouse and keyboard on the desk and just use the keyboard. Okay, so we'll give that a go. Okay, so this time what we're going to do, we're not going to use the tabs on the screen. We're going to use just the keyboard. So I'm not wanting to use my mouse at all anymore. I just want to use the controller, which is what I purchased it for, really. So rather than use the tabs, this time we're going to just hit the browse button, and from there, if you use the large jog wheel, we can see all the instruments, plugins, samples, everything that's included with Komplete 10, and you can flick through them like this. Okay, there's my synths at the bottom. It's got Massive and Spark and Absinthe, etc. But I'm going to try the piano. So if we go for, I don't know, the grandeur, press that in. Interestingly, these keys only light up, or these pads only light up when they can be used. So at the moment, the down and left arrows are dead. So they're not lit up. So there's no options I can select with those. I want to go to the right. And I want to select the grandeur. Press that in, and it should open up the grandeur. And you see along the top here, it's just loading the samples for that instrument. Okay, so let's give that a minute just to come into play. Right, so the keyboard now is obviously changed into complete mode, controller mode, rather than just MIDI mode, and you've got all the options to change all the plugin settings here directly on the keyboard. So rather than grab the screen and grab the mouse and use the keyboard and select options on there, you should be able to do it all from here. So this is the basic. As it loads up, this is what you get. Okay, so if we wanted to change the colour and tone, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's all here. And you can do it all on the fly. Okay, beautiful sound. And we can go harder if we want, very hard. Sounds more like a harpsichord. Space as well on this piano. Turn the space on. Let's go very far away. Make the size a bit bigger. Wow, let's give it some. And we'll put it down to soft. So we should have a nice echoey, spacey piano. It's quite nice. Okay, so as you can see, you can change all the options directly from the keyboard. You don't need to use your Mac at this point. If you just want to turn it on and go, just switch your Mac on, fire your keyboard up, and open up your Komplete Control standalone. Very nice. You can scroll through the pages as well. Oh, there's the bass. Look, you can turn the bass down. Don't know what half of this stuff does. I'm sure I'm going to have fun finding out. It'd be great if there's more knobs, then you'd have less pages, but there you go. Stereo width, that's a nice one to change. You can even turn off and on the pedal volume, so when you push the pedal down, there you go. Can you hear that now? You turn that off. Hammer. Don't know what that does. There you go. As you can see, you can just scroll through, and as you're changing these settings, if you look at the screen there, you can see that the soft hard is changing as I turn the dial. Okay, one thing you probably do have to grab the mouse for is if you want to close the lid on the piano. Although I'm sure it's on here somewhere, I just haven't seen it yet. Okay, so that's basically how you would select from Complete Control using just the keyboard and altering the parameters there. If you want to mess about with the ARP, you've got the ARP settings there, the scale, and if you want to go back into keyboard mode just as a MIDI controller, you've got the instance button here, and you can switch it to MIDI just by shift and pressing instance. Okay, so let's attempt to go back out of this one and find another synth and see if that works. Okay, so we're going to press browse. Now we don't want the grandeur anymore, so we're going to go back and we're going to select a different one this time. So let's select Studio Drummer. As you can see, the LEDs on the keyboard have stayed blue for the piano. But if we go for Studio Drummer, you'll see that the colours have now changed to the key types. So at a guess, and this is how intuitive it is, all these sort of cyan colours are going to be symbols. It's still loading the samples up. So you can see there's a bar that goes across. When it gets 100%, we should be ready to go. There you go. And then you've got your red's going to be bass drum, I would presume. And then your yellows are your snares. You got your toms on orange. I got rhythm, Ma! I got rhythm! Never been a drummer. Okay, and you can change all the parameters of each individual instrument by the look of it. So kick volume. That's not bad. So it takes all the bottom end out of it. Snares. Your hats. That's the hat. Pretty good, eh? So very good for that. Brilliant. So there's your Studio Drummer. I haven't touched the mouse yet. I've been doing all this off the keyboard, so quite impressed really. Okay, what we're going to try and do now is go back, pressing browse, and we go back. I'm getting the hang of this, I think. Use the jog wheel. What should we go to next? Let's have a look at Massive. Go across. Let's just select something at random. Haven't used Massive yet, so don't know what it's all about. Right, you can design your own sounds in Massive, obviously, and I can't wait to get stuck into that. If I wanted to go down the presets, again, I haven't got to grab the mouse. I just use the up and down arrows here on the keyboard, and it changes straight over. Nice. Very nice. I like Massive already. Okay, so very simply, I'm just hitting the down arrow. quite easy, eh? Let's get something nice. My God. Mess about with it. As easy as that. Let's pick another one. Okay, so I've tapped the ARP button. Never done that before, so I thought I'd give it a go. So there's the ARP. So at the moment it's set up to play that pattern. So I'm presuming if I press Shift and Edit over the top of the ARP, like that, ooh, I get all the ARP settings come up. So you can change the sequence, swing of it, octaves. Nice. Cool, eh? I will never use the ARP setting ever, but I'm sure some of you guys will. Let's take it off that. Okay, one more then. Let's go back and have a look at one of the others. What else have we got? Shall we look at Absinthe? Absinthe. Here we go. My God. Okay, so basically that's how you get from, well, that's how I'm getting from one plugin to another, or one synth to another. If you just want to turn it on and go, really, without being in Pro Tools or your DAW or your other software, whatever you've got. So for me, it's really good and really easy to use. Okay, let's go back to the a piano. So what I can tell you is I've been using this for a fair few hours now, and I'm still absolutely loving the key bed on this keyboard. It's very, very silky smooth. Just get the grandeur loaded up. You can turn the lights off as well. There's loads of options. If you go into the keyboard controller on your iMac or on your PC, there's an option to turn these lights off. So if they are bothering you in any way, you can go on there and just flick them off, no problem at all. And I'll probably do that, to be honest, because I don't need them. I'm not learning chords and stuff like that, so I really don't need to hear them or see them. You can't hear lights, Dave. You can't hear lights. Okay, so the bed is absolutely sublime. The keys don't part, like I said in my other vid. They're quite sturdy, and they're better than the S88 that I've had for almost ever. They're not too clicky. The bounce on them is great. It's just enough, and it's a lovely proper piano feel. Obviously, plastic keys. There you go. Can't have ivory anymore, can we? So I still love the key bed, no problems there. Downsides to my experience so far, I haven't had any really, to be honest. I'm still obviously getting used to all the features. Like I want to try all the transport controls on the other software that's included, but I haven't had any problems. It works just fine. I just wish there was more knobs, that's all. I mean, there's 5 pages to this piano plugin that we've got up. They could have fit 100 knobs on there if they wanted to, but you have to scroll through the pages. It's simple to do, but it just means you've got to remember where you saw things, which is a bit of a shame. Also, most of the keyboard is sort of a matte black, which is great, whereas this part is shiny black. So you touch it and your fingerprints just get all over it, as you can probably see them at the moment. So within a couple of days use, that's going to be, you know, greasy as hell, because it's got that mirror finish on it. It would be great if they'd just kept that a nice matte black. That would have been fantastic and finished it off nicely. The ribbon controllers, the pitch bend and modulation, they're okay. I'm used to the wheels, but I seem to be getting on all right with the with them as they are on this new thing. So I haven't really seen a problem with those. Some people might not like them. I've heard stories that they don't last long, which is worrying me a little bit. But that's it. I haven't had many problems at all. Okay. Well, there you go. That was my first day or first couple of hours with the actual keyboard itself, and not bad if I do say so myself. Okay, well, I just thought I'd quickly show you how it works in Pro Tools, or how I've got it to work in Pro Tools. It was really quite simple. So let's get Pro Tools opened. So at the moment the keyboard's in just general Midi mode. You can use it in that mode if you want, just to control the other plugins in Pro Tools. But when you go into a session that has Native Instruments selected as one of the plugins, it should change as it did when it was in standalone mode. So I've created this quick session here, which has just got there's a couple of Komplete Kontrol plugins put on 2 different channels. So at the moment we've got a studio drummer on this one and a grandeur piano on that one. So but you can probably see one thing that's really annoying me is that as you flick between the two, the keyboard still stays in one mode. It's not dynamic. So at the moment it's in studio drummer mode, which is great. You know, I can use studio drummer perfectly. I can flick over to instrument 1 and it will go back to piano. But as you can see, none of the dials have changed, and neither has the lighting. It's still in studio drummer mode. Now the way you get around that is you have to press instance on the keyboard, because you want to use a different instance of the Komplete controller that you've got, you know, opened in Pro Tools. So you just have to go back and forward between the two if you want to use the controllers on here. So we go back to piano mode, the piano plugin, sorry, and you can see it's all changed back and it's all fine. Okay, but it would be good. I'm sure it does do it. I just can't figure it out at the moment. So you have to flick between the two using the instance button. So back on piano. And we can use all the dials and knobs, everything, as we did when we use it in standalone mode. So it's great. It's got full integration in that respect. But obviously if you want to use the keyboard for the other instance, you have to press instance, go back to studio drummer, and obviously change your channel over here and pop it up on there. Okay, so that's the only niggly problem I've got at the moment, but I can live with that. That's no problem with that. Okay, so that's it really. That's how I'm using it with Pro Tools. I literally just selected the multi-channel plugin instrument, and rather than use Absinthe or Massive or whatever, I just go Complete Control, which allows you then to control it, just as I've shown you. So that's where I'm at the moment with using it in Pro Tools. It is working. I'm sure there are better ways of changing instances and whatever. Also, when I'm recording, if I change any of these values, so if I want to, add some resonance to a sound or a synth sound, I can hear it changing and it sounds great, but it's not actually recording the changes in Pro Tools. And I've been told that you just need to map the knobs to the mappings on Pro Tools. So you literally have to tell Pro Tools that knob with that channel number is the one for the resonance, and then as you record you're playing, it will also record the automation as you go on. So that's going to be a simple way, a simple fix, should I say. So a little niggly problem at the minute, but I'm sure I can figure that one out. Okay, that's how I'm using it in Pro Tools. Awesome. Okay, just to finish up here, just sort of show you on the computer that you can go, if you go into your Launchpad, you have a folder there with all your Native Instruments plugins. That's where they're all stored. There's your service center, so make sure your licenses are all up to date and that your plugins are all up to date, and it should work fine. You've also got a controller editor in there, and that's where you can map your keys, and you can do various things in there. So it's worth looking in there and making sure that your device is selected correctly. It's called an S1 in there, but it's fine. That's exactly what it should be on. Also in here, you can go to your preferences and you will see various options in there. Not sure what these do at the moment. If you go to your controller, you can change the brightness of the LEDs on your keyboard. You can recalibrate your expression pedal. So that's something to know. What else can you do in there? Oh, you can save your templates and things. Okay, so we'll quit that. Now, also in Complete Control, let's just pop that up. If you go up the top here, you'll see your preferences. So you can go Preferences General. Now this took me a while to figure out, so I'm saving you a job here. If you go to your plugins, you'll see what instruments or plugins you've got, and they're all ticked on. If you look at your hardware, you can turn the lights off and on. So the lights on the keyboard go off and on with that little selector there. Okay, and you can select your velocity scale to whatever you prefer as well. Okay, so that's that. What else can you do up here? You can also look at your audio and Midi settings. So at the moment I'm going through multi-output device because I'm recording the mic and the screen and everything else under the sun. You will have your DAW in there, or your DigiDesign or Pro Tools or whatever. That should default to standard, so you shouldn't have to change that at all. You've got your root in there, your Midi. So obviously my S88 goes through USB. So on my DigiDesign 003 factory, I don't want to use the Midi on that, so I've turned the Midi off on the factory. Okay, and I've turned the Midi on, so I'm in port 1 coming out the back of my S88. So that's something else to check. I had to go in there actually and turn things off and on because I couldn't get it working for a little while. You can look at outputs there as well. Also up here, you'll know if you've installed your S88 correctly because it'll be selectable in there. If it's not in there, you've done something wrong on the install, and you probably need to update your service center, go into service center and update all your plugins and core software as well. So Always checking the controller to make sure it's got the right one selected. It should only let you select the one that's plugged into your computer. Okay then guys, what do you think of that then? I seem to be getting on okay with it. I know I'm doing it probably all wrong, but it seems to be working in a roundabout sort of way. One thing I noticed on Pro Tools is obviously if you have 10 different versions on 10 channels of the Native Instruments Komplete plugin, it's going to get awfully crowded in the CPU and RAM territory. So I've been Googling around and asking people on the forums, and it seems to be that you can put one version of it on a buzz or an auxiliary and then just use MIDI tracks and use different channels to point at that one instance. So I'm going to be trying that next. I've actually seen some guys do it and it seems to work fine for them. So I'm going to do that next, see what happens. But apart from that, I'm getting on with it. Love the S88. I absolutely love it at the minute. I haven't done any serious recording on it, but you know, just messing around. It seems to be fantastic. So that's it really for this one. It was just a quick video for you, and I wanted to try my mic out as well. So let's see how that goes. I've also recorded the screen, the iMac, I forgot to say at the start, in only 1080p. So I had to change the resolution on the iMac because the vid cam that I've got, that's the vid cam, that's a mic vid cam, mic joystick, mic vid cam, vape, right, no T. Anyway, so I wanted to try the mic, but the video camera records in 1080p, whereas the iMac screen obviously records a lot higher resolution. So what I did was try to get it down to 1080p, and hopefully it should be nice and clear for you. But we'll see. So this is a good test for me to see if I can get it right. If I get it right, fantastic. Then all the videos I do from now will be as perfect. All right. So if you you know, like what you see, like the videos, then please subscribe to me. As I always say, I come back and have a look at what you guys have got to and comment where I can. So it's a two-way street if you ask me. So that's it, mate. All right, guys, you have yourselves a great day and a great week. Halloween coming up this weekend, so I'm going to take my little boy out trick-or-treating, even if it's raining. So what? I've got no hair, look, so the water just runs off, no problem. Okay, so subscribe if you'd like to. Comment as much as you want, good or bad, it doesn't really matter. You know, that's what it's for. And that's it. You guys have a great time, and I'll see you in the next vid.